Finally, my own time slot in the building. A place where I can do my thing. Say the things that I feel like need to be said. Get some stuff off my chest. I hope everybody's ready, because we get ready to do some real talking up in here. Here we go. You know who it is. Yeah. I've been waiting for a chance to speak my heart, so it's time for real talk with your man Jay Sharp. Nothing's off limits, we'll talk about it all. So sit back, relax, and let's have a ball. Bringing my swag to the topics of the world, saying what most folks won't, cause I'm that bold. Let's have some fun, cause the show's about to start. Are you ready for real talk with your man Jay Sharp?
What up, everybody? Welcome to this brand new, very special edition of Real Talk with your man, Jay Sharp. And man, we have got something extremely valuable for each and every person under the sound of my voice this evening. So I hope you are locked in, I hope you are loaded up, and I hope you are ready. Because if you are not in the financial situation that you want to be, then tonight is the night that you learn something brand new for your life and for your situation. But before I get started, I got to do what I do each and every time I get on this mic. I got to give a shout out to the Almighty Father, the man upstairs, who allows us to have our platform, allows us to give you what we are able to give you, and tonight we are giving you finance. So I hope everybody has a pen, I hope everybody has a paper, because we are about to go in. I have a very B-16 classified type guest for you this evening. So I want everybody to sit back, and I want to introduce my man, Mr. Daryl Granger, to the world of indie evolution. So Daryl, if you would, please say hello to the people.
Hello, how are you? How's everybody doing tonight?
Hey, we want to thank you for being able to stop by and you know, give us this lowdown on the lowdown of the financial area that a lot of us are not privy to in our own world, in our own societies, and in our own circles of people that we, you know, do business with and we connect with on a daily basis. So, you know, we are so honored to have you in the building this evening to spread some of this very insightful information, and hopefully we can help some people change their lives this evening.
Yeah, I appreciate that. One thing I can tell you guys is that what our purpose is to change lives one person at a time. And what we do here is we make sure to teach you guys the business. And my friend Jay, I'm blessed to have him. I'm blessed that he understands exactly what we're trying to do. And what we're trying to do is reach each one individually and try to teach one individually.
And that's cool right there. That is so cool because, you know, I guess maybe in the world that we live in, a lot of people, they do not, you know, they're not around people who are willing to share information, especially vital information that you know could change people's lives and help increase their situation, you know, regardless whether it's personal, financial, or even spiritual for that matter. So, you know, like I said, I just got to personally thank you because you have been a big hand in some of the increases that indie evolution has started to see, and we felt like it was definitely time to share this with the world and not try to keep it and hold it to ourselves. So we are definitely glad that you are in the building. Now, I tell you what, now we got to get into just who my man Daryl is. So I mean, one of the things that stood out about me in your bio was the fact that you attended Saddleback College, or Saddleback University. My apologies. So, I mean, can you kind of give us a little bit of background about yourself, Daryl, and who you are?
Okay. What I did is I grew up in Orange County, California. I was blessed. I was born in Los Angeles, California. My mother and father moved me over to Orange County, California, to where I was blessed and able to go to Irvine High School. And from there, Saddleback College recruited me as a basketball player, and I was able to soak up the the intelligence from Saddleback College. I was able to meet the good people, and the Lord blessed me because he gave me the skills to play basketball, which they liked and they needed to make their college look good. So, and one gentleman leaned over to me one day and he told me, I want to teach you this in business. And he sat me down at a desk every day after practice and made me learn this until I learned it inside and out. And it's the 5 steps to funding. And what it is very important today because a lot of people did not get this information. A lot of people did not get this type of class that they need to in order to move forward in life. I know a lot of people out there financially struggling. Well, we can help them if they set this, business up the way we're looking for and the way we've done it. 5 steps to funding can change everyone's life individually.
Wow. Well, that's the main purpose and the main reason why we are sitting here this evening talking this financial thing out so we can get this information, get this insight, and hopefully, and I'm going to tell each and every one of you listeners, I hope that you are taking this extremely seriously because we're not putting this out here because it's a joke. We're not putting it out here just to have fun. We are actually putting this out here because we want to see people grow. We want to see people's lives enhanced financially. We want to see you gain the security to take care of your family in each and every realm and each and every aspect that you would like to do so. So your success and your growth creates our success and our growth. Please understand that first and foremost. So I tell you what, I don't want to hesitate. I want to get right on into this financial conversation because we got a lot of ground to cover and we don't have a whole lot of time. So I want to jump right on into the first question, Daryl. So when I tell you what, hang on, let me look and make sure I want to ask this question first because there's things I want to ask that I want to make sure that I get them in the right avenue, the right aspect. So I guess really and truly, I want to ask, how did you actually get into the world of corporate financing?
Well, what happened was, like I said before, the Lord blessed me to play basketball really good. I ended up playing with Anthony Carter and going with, getting recruited by the Lakers. And, so it afforded me to meet a lot of people that are in the financial world. They're just not about $1 or $2. They're about making a solid base first and then thinking about, the $1 or $2 that you're going to make. First and foremost, you have to have a solid base in order to make something come from it. And, that's what the gentleman sat me down, and he had ended up teaching me how to make a solid base first. And once I have that solid base, then I can go ahead and pull from that base and then, have financial freedom, as he would say. And the financial freedom is a very important word because a lot of people out there are shackled. They don't understand it because they're held only by their intellect and by what they're willing to learn. A lot of people are not willing to open their minds to something new. And this is an area where you got to open your mind to something new, even if you're 40, 50 years old, because it's out there, and it's obtainable, really quick, really fast. I mean, a lot of people don't understand. They're like, well, if I want $30,000, it's going to take me a year. No, it is not. Okay, so we just want to make sure that people understand that it is obtainable.
Wonderful. So that's the first thing that each and every one of y'all need to be writing down. No matter what your situation is, this financial freedom, this financial gain is obtainable. Big letters. Make sure you write it in big letters because we want you to know that there's no limits around here, and that's what we've been blessed to realize and find out. So many different areas that we want to share it with you. So it is obtainable. Please write that down. That is the most crucial part of knowing what you're learning tonight. So
that's right.
I'm not do that.
That's
all right,
good.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's very, very, very important because a lot of people think, they've given up already. We need to let them know, have them understand it is obtainable, and that's within, 2 months. If they set the right time, the 5 steps that we have put in place that they can learn. If they take care of these 5 steps, then they can go get their funding in the amount that they're looking for to open a business, to put their kids through school, to send their kids to school, to do anything. It's very interesting that they don't teach this financial system in colleges. They're not teaching us teaching it to us in high school. It's kind of like it's out there, but it's very important information. I think they just, say it for the Ivy League schools, the Ivy League kids or whatever, but, everybody needs it. So here it is.
Bam. Look, just like that. So y'all, check this out. You get in the Harvard class tonight and you didn't even realize it.
That's real.
Man, I tell you. So, okay, so in getting into developing a strategy to possibly, say, finance our dreams or something of that nature, how do we get the financing we need to fund our dreams?
Well, what we do is we come up with a dream, okay? Say like somebody who has a dream to own a liquor store. Well, what we would do is we would say, okay, you want to own a liquor store. We would set their situation up business-wise, okay? Then we would set the 5 steps to funding for the liquor store. Then we would get the funding for the liquor store. Then we would go buy a place, whether it's a liquor store front or whether it's a regular building, and we would fill it up, and they would have their store, and that would be under a corporation which is protecting what they're opening. See, a lot of people are out there trying to start a business, but see, they don't understand that it's not about getting into business, it's about staying in business. It's very important because a lot of businesses close within the first year of opening. Why do they close within the first year of opening? Because people are using their own financing, their own money out of their pockets to keep it open. Well, this way, you're not using your own money to keep it open. You're using the financial system's money to keep it open, and it's limitless. And you're able to stay open and above ground.
See, now y'all thought I was playing about this B-13 classified type information, man. You know what? The CIA don't be wanting to release none of this stuff. Donald Trump don't want to release none of this stuff.
They just want to sit on it. They just want to sit on it, and they just want to act like they know everything, and they're, the top notch, the top dogs, and they're so smart. But really what it is, the information that they know, we know. And that, so we're trying to let everybody know, the funny thing about life is when you see the little kids still around the street and then you see the rich man drive by in the car and he drives right by that child. It's not right. So we're trying to make sure that child eats too. We're trying to make sure that he understands that he can own a business too. Okay, it's very important that
that's the one thing that I think that we're, we want people to really, really understand that's listening in tonight because, I was taught in the world of business prior to, even getting into radio. In the world of business, there is, people don't really, it's almost like the justice system. You got the Supreme Court, then you got the judges that's up under them. And in the world of business and finance, there is a round table which is like the Supreme Court, and it's called the circle. And if you're not already a viable part of this circle does certain things to keep you out of that circle and keep you from competing with that circle. And when they keep you from competing, they keeping knowledge away from us. And when they keep knowledge away from you, then you fall into situations where you don't understand how to get out of a financial situation, how to clean up a credit score, how to start a business entity. And tonight, hear me and hear me loud. Tonight, we are giving it to you. So I tell you what, I am glad we are having this conversation, Daryl, because it is very viable to each and every person under the sound of my voice, and it's very viable to each and every person that is yet to be under the sound of my voice, because they will come for this conversation. I believe it, and I live by it. So I tell you what, let's move on real quick. Now, I did some research, and I noticed that 65% of Americans have bad credit. So, if you wanted to clean up your own personal credit, what steps need to be taken to resolve credit issues and clean up your score?
First of all, you need to understand exactly what's dragging your credit down in the mud, okay? So a lot of people don't realize that. They understand that their credit is low, and they're just going to live with it, which isn't really, which doesn't have to happen. It doesn't have to be that way, because we can teach them how to drop off those negative items. We can teach them how to replace those negative items with positive items, and their credit score will just shoot through the roof. So we need people to understand that, because we know that a lot of people have bad credit, and they don't know how to fix it. Well, we can show them how to fix it. We can show them how to repair that credit score. We can show them how to repair that credit score, get those negative items taken off their credit, and go from 400 to 750. It's just a process they have to follow. It's a process that is proven. It's a process that they're not teaching people that is possible. Well, we're here tonight to teach you how.
And that is definitely what's up. That's crazy to think that if you've been spending all this time in your life, because if you was anybody like myself, and I'm it's real talk, so I always keep it real. I was one of those people who, when I went off to college, I was bombarded by the fabulous college credit card. You know what I'm saying? And it drug my credit down for a long time. And you're told at certain areas in your life, 7 years and it'll go away and blah, blah, blah. And you sit and you wait and you wait and you wait. And then you figure out that after 7 years it really ain't gone. But at the same token, you sitting here with this pitiful credit score. And you're trying to figure out, okay, now, how you going to get this back up? How am I going to get this back up? And to be in the midst of the man, and I'm going to call him the man, because when you got this type of classified information that nobody wants you to hear, nobody wants you to know, and nobody wants you to apply, boy, you understand that life-changing is not even the word for it. Life-altering is not even the word for it. It just goes, it's limitless. You can create so many different things when you can put your financial situation in the right perspective.
Let me give you an example, Jay. Let's say you have a credit card. It's been on your credit for 7 years, and you're trying to get it off to make a credit score raise. Anything over 7 years old has to automatically come off your credit. So if you dispute that item that's been on your credit for all those years, they by law have to take it off. Did you know that? They have to take it off. So let's say if you have a Capital One credit card that you got in college, and it's been on your credit for over 7 years, all we would have to do is dispute that item, and just maybe once, maybe twice, but if it's over 7 years, they have to remove it off your credit. That way, your credit score improves right there.
Now that's something I'm gonna have to take advantage of that right here in the very, very near future, because that part I did not know. I was told something completely different.
No.
Submit a request to all 3 credit agencies, and then you have to wait, approximately 30 to 45 days, and they're supposed to remove it. But then I've had people to also tell me that they've gone through that process and it still doesn't get removed.
Well, some places, if you try it, what they'll do is if you go through the process, that credit company is still going to report that item after 7 years. But if you send a letter to that credit that company that is reporting it, then they have to stop it.
Okay.
After 7.
So actually, okay. So actually, it was the process goes. I was told that the process, is going actually through the wrong people, because instead of writing the credit bureaus, you should be writing the companies where you've actually had this credit issue at, right?
The way our company works is you cover all your bases, and you write both. You write the credit company where it's coming from, and you write the credit company where it's going.
Okay.
So that way you got all your bases covered, and the information stops going instantly. It's very important that they understand. A lot of people don't understand that. They're out there just writing the information to one party, which that one party isn't getting all the information, or that one party is not getting the letter or whatever, and they'll still report it to your credit, or the credit is still reporting that negative item. Well, what happens is if you send a letter to both, they have to stop.
Right, okay. See, and that's exactly why I was elaborating on that question, because, we want to make sure that we're getting the right information and not just going off the information that we were sold or told by people around us or people that claim that they know so much information about a topic. I mean, when you get into working on your own personal credit, I mean, these are things that we all need to know. So I hope everybody wrote that down too.
That's right. It's very important
write to both credit agencies, the one you have the credit issue with and the one that you're trying to get your credit cleared through, whether it be Experian, whether it be TransUnion, whoever. Write them all. Write it down.
That's right.
Hey, check this out. Check this out, everybody. We are into this conversation, and it is deep, and it is very insightful. But I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to break away for just a hot second, and we're going to have a quick commercial break, and your man's going to be right back in the building with Mr. Daryl Granger, the financial B13 classified informationalist, and we're going to get right back into this conversation. So y'all hang out. We're going to be right back. This your man, Jay Sharp. You are with me doing some real talking this evening.
Hey, this is your girl, Felicia J, host of The Felicia J Show. Our show will be going on hiatus for the summer. I will be traveling the world gathering interesting news, insightful information, and interviewing some of the hottest new indie artists out there. In the meantime, be sure to keep your dial locked right here to Indie Evolution Online Radio. That's www.ieonlineradio.com, where we play some of the hottest indie music on the planet.
Monday through Saturday, we have a rip-roaring great time right here on the station. But we want you to understand something. Here at Indie Evolution, we put God first. So we ask you to take some time out. Come by the station on Sundays and check out Indie Gospel Sunday. We offer up the brightest indie gospel artists out here, taking advantage of a platform to spread the gospel. We also come to you live at 7 p.m. with our live edition of Indie Gospel Sunday. With featured artists, biblical principles, and scriptural references. So make sure you lock it in and tune in each and every Sunday right here at www.ieonlineradio.com. Indie Evolution Online Radio the whole day.
Yo, we back in the building with you. It's your man, Jay Sharp. I'm holding it down. This is Real Talk with Jay Sharp. I've got my man, Daryl Granger, in the building with us this evening, and we are talking the 5 steps to financing, baby. There's something everybody needs, wants, and has to know. So I hope everybody has had their pens, their paper. They've been taking notes. They've been getting all this good information, because I'm telling you now, I'm ready to jump right back into this whole big old topic that we are sharing with you tonight. So, my man Daryl, man, we've been having a good conversation. What do you think? What do you say?
Say what?
I said I would say we have been having a very insightful and enlightening conversation, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. I mean, the one thing we can do is we can inform the public. That's our job, is to inform everybody to improve their financial position in life. That's what it is.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, we were talking about, cleaning up the credit just a minute ago before we went to commercial. I had one more question about, cleaning up your credit, for personal gain and personal reasons. Now, we were talking about, writing these letters to the creditors and things of that nature. Now, once you start doing something like that, how long of a process would it take to actually clean up your credit?
Well, I would, if you sit down and you write a letter and you send it out, give them 30 to 60 days. And that's usually what it takes, 30 to 60 days, and your credit should be clear. And those items, I can't say that they're going to take off all of them. Some of the items you're responsible for. Some of the items are not past the 7-year mark. So those items you have to magnify and then, try to pay them off, okay? If they're not over 7 years. Say, like, you have something from, the gas station that's $100. Well, I suggest you go pay that off, okay? Everybody has $100. They can go pay that off. Go pay it off. Then we'll see that you're slowly starting to improve your credit. And then they'll drop off the items that are supposed to be dropped off that are past 7 years.
Okay. No, that's understandable. And that, it makes all the sense in the world. You're not going to just try to knock out each and every item on your credit when you done been out here messing stuff up and jacking your life up.
Realistic. We tell everybody we want to make sure they're realistic and they're not trying to, they know they got your number out there, so you want to fly right, tell everybody, let them know you're doing it the right way, because they already know, so just go follow the criteria that they've set out for you and make it easy on you, make it easy on them, and that's the way in 30 days, 60 days, your credit would be clear, and it's a whole different side of life when your credit's clear. You can go to a bank, the bank president's like, hey, how you doing? And what do you need? And do you need this loan for $100,000? Yeah, sure. It's a whole different side of life.
Wow. Well, that's something that everybody needs to really be paying attention to and taking heed to as well. So, that the application process, you can talk about it all you want to. Until you be about it, you are still going to sit in the same financial situation, the same financial place, wondering where you going to come out and see the light at the end of the tunnel. So y'all make sure y'all do exactly the things that need to be done as far as writing the appropriate letters, making sure that you cover yourself in every aspect and every angle with creditors. And, those small credits that you still out here and you still owe on, put 5 to the side, baby, and make sure you go pay that stuff off so you can head your credit in the right direction. Now, I tell you what, Daryl, I know I got a whole lot of independent record labels, production studios, artist management companies, promotion companies, and a lot of other listeners in the world of business, okay? So I want to start jumping into some of this business stuff that we got, in dealing with the 5 steps of financing. So I want to ask you something. Now, in a person that wants to, or even if you have an existing business entity, or let's say that you have a business entity, so to speak, that you feel is a business entity. Now, I understand we've talked about this already, and I know that there are certain aspects and certain points to the, in gaining the 5 steps of financing that you have to cover in business. Now, when it comes down to building a business entity, approximately how long does it legitimately take to build a business entity?
Well, it could, it could take 1 to 2 days. If you do it right, it could happen that quickly. You just have to make sure that you're in the right spots when companies are looking for your business. You know, when a company is looking to give you credit or financing, your name better come up at the 5 spots they look for, because they're in a verifying position just like you. You know, so they need to verify that your business has been in business for that long and is in the right spots. If it is, then they will go ahead and give you the money, the funding you're asking for. In the respect of music, I've put together 10, 15 studios for guys. You know, the funny thing about it is, once we set the studio up, the dude's got to perform, meaning that they have to have record selling. You know, they can't just go out there and live off this business, you know, because they will fall. You know, so they have to be good. You know, they have to be putting out a good product in the area of music. Somebody can say, oh, you know, I'm great, but until somebody's buying your albums, you know, your albums are flying off the shelves, then, you know, you're not in business. You know, that's what I tell my people when we set them up. We try to let them know we're not in business until your albums start selling.
Okay, absolutely, and that's only fair and that's only right, because you can call yourself a business, but as long as you're just sitting around, and I'm gonna say it real, because when we sit down on the real talk couch, I like to keep it real. So you can be sitting in the basement with the homeboys and think that you got a record studio or a recording studio or a record label, but if you're not pushing no product, if you're not moving no units, then you don't have a business. You have a bunch of homeboys sitting in the basement talking about what they're gonna be in their life, but that's
all you got. And you got to be smart now and understand that, okay, we're not moving units. You know, if you're not moving units, I suggest you go open up a liquor store or open up a laundromat or something, you know, to supplement that income until you start selling records. It's very important in the respect of business that you have to have something coming in. You have to have you have to have a purse. You have to have money coming in. If you don't have any money coming in, you're not in business. You can set up as many companies as you want. You know, we got to make sure that you have money coming in.
And that's understandable. I mean, because that's the only thing that qualifies you as being a business is product, not just product, but good product. Services, not just services, but good services, and revenue, not just, and I guess even in the beginning phases of a business entity, even the smallest of revenue that is qualified under your business itself allows you to say, okay, now we're moving forward.
That's right. If you're a really good businessman, if they're really good businessmen, Jay, they're going to do a quarterly check. And they're going to see what financially has come in each month, how much money you've made each month, and then they're going to put that on the books, and they're going to report that to the tax agency, to the corporation, whatever. They're going to have corporate monthly meetings, and they're going to understand we're in business. A lot of people don't. They think they're in business, but they're not. You know, as soon as you got money coming in, you're in business.
Absolutely. So let's move on to the next question real quick.
Okay.
Since we are running out of time. What would be the difference? Now, I know people don't understand a lot of times that there is a huge difference between building a business entity and repairing their own personal credit. But a lot of people also call themselves going into business under sole proprietorships, which keeps their business and their personal credit tied together. So what would be the differences between building a business entity and repairing your personal credit?
The difference is, I would say, before you the way I've been taught is before you even put up a corporation, okay, and I wouldn't recommend a sole proprietorship. What I recommend is you jump in with an LLC, okay, because an LLC always has protection and it always watches your back, okay. So that's one thing I recommend, okay. Now, in order to jump light years ahead of everybody, what you want to do is you want to make sure that your credit is flawless. A lot of people are jumping in this game and they're jumping in with really damaged credit, which is holding them back, and then they can't maximize their potential with their business corporation. Okay? That's what you got to be able to do, is maximize the potential of the business. That's why we're in business, to maximize the potential of the business. So you have to put yourself in position to be able to maximize your position. That's what we call the 5 steps of funding. Number 2 step is you have to make sure that your personal credit is ready to go. If not, then you have to get a partner that it is. And then what I recommend to some of my clients is get in the corporation, you get in the corporation by yourself, and then bringing in a client that has a high credit score, something 50, 750, 800, and then you guys are into business together. And then you and that person utilize each other. They utilize you to get the loan. You utilize them to get the loan. Once you get the loan, you repair each other's credit, and you go from there.
Wow.
That's
something special right there.
It's a very interesting scenario, because a lot of people are stuck, bro. Okay, they're stuck. We want to make sure to unstick them. That's what we do. We're trying to unstick people. We're trying to elevate their mind into purchasing businesses and going into business. Well, I've learned in the respect that if your credit is bad, then your business dreams will be bad too.
Absolutely. I can definitely understand and feel that right there. I tell you what, since we, and we've been definitely talking about it the entire, time that we've been discussing this. But I mean, let's get down to the nitty and the gritty right here, right now. What are the 5 steps of finance?
5 steps of financing is, number 1 is knowing what you want to do. Okay, that's number 1 step. Knowing what you want to do, having a vision of what you want. You understand what I mean? Like, what is your goal, your long-term goal, what you want. The second is having your business plan, having your plan together, whether it's, whatever plan you have. Whether you want to be a basketball coach, well, you're going to open up a coaching business. Whether you want to be a laundromat, then you're going to open up a laundromat business, okay? Number 3 is who is going to be with you, meaning partners. Are you going to get the type of partners that punk, drug, thug, dudes on the corner, or are you going to be smart and go get the very personal person with great credit? Very important. Once you get a business partner, you want to make sure to go get the person with the highest credit score. Let them know that you know something, that you've been taught something new, that you've been taught something great, and they'll usually jump with you. Number 4 is getting to people and having them trust you. What the number 1 thing in business is trust. If someone looks in your eyes and you look in their eyes and they don't trust you, you're probably not going to go anywhere with them. You're not going to do any business. You're not going to explode. You're not going to, you're not going to get what you want because you don't trust each other. That's the number 4 thing. You've got to have complete 100% trust that that person has your best interest at heart and knows what they're doing. Okay, that's very, very, very important. Number 5 is just tweaking the banks, knowing exactly what to do, having all your guns loaded when you walk in the bank. Number one, the bank president, so he looks at you and he looks at you like, oh, here comes another fool, or he looks at you like, oh my God, this person's got their ducks in a row. We're about to lend some money. So you want to be that person that walks in the bank, that the bank president is like, hey, John, how are you doing? Give John some coffee. Maggie, hurry up. Get him some coffee. Have a seat, John. We'll be right with you. Do you understand that? Instead of, here comes that guy in the bank. Oh, no, I'm a little afraid. Make sure he doesn't talk to me. You have to build a good relationship with the bank president is our number one goal here, is building a good relationship with the bank president. That way, you're golden. I mean, you can get a loan by calling him on the telephone, because your relationship with him is golden. It's very important. A lot of people don't put a big emphasis on that, or a lot of people have never been taught that. Life is about relationships. Business is about relationships. Okay, that's the one thing. Oh yeah, it's about relationships, and if people have really good ones with people, and hey John, hey Frank, hey pal, then you're going to do really good. Okay, and if you got a really good relationship with them, you're going to be able to do it over the phone. If you're building a relationship with them, then you want to go in and sit with them and be personable with that person.
Absolutely, man. I tell you what. Now, I do want all my listeners, I want everybody to remember something, and remember this because this is important. We're not talking about getting a $2,500 loan for you to go get a new used car. We're talking about building lifestyles. We're talking about accomplishing dreams and goals. In this entire conversation, we want you to understand that this just is not about the common Joe, because every common Joe has wanted to know how to make himself an elite player in the game. And right here, right now, Real Talk with your man Jay Sharp is giving you the business 101. So I hope everybody is doing what I have been explaining to you to do all evening, and that's take notes. Because right now, I'm not gonna lie to you. We're giving you the milk, but trust and believe that there's a whole lot more meat to be had. And my man Daryl has agreed, and this is something that we are definitely going to put together for each and every one of our listeners. He has agreed to take some time out of his extremely B13 classified busy schedule to put together the 5 Steps of Financing seminar. And with your man and Indie Evolution, we're going to be presenting these seminars to you coming up real soon. So y'all make sure you stay tuned, keep it locked in, keep it loaded up, and make sure you paying attention to these dates so you can mark your calendar and be in the building for the 5 Steps of Financing. You do not want to miss this if you want to see a change or growth in your life. I promise you. Brother Daryl, we're going to have to get ready to wrap this thing up, man, but I am telling you this has been a very insightful conversation, and it has laid out the foundation for some very critical information that people really, really need to wrap their minds around and get to know, because this information is not privy to everybody. And this is the information that all these millionaires that y'all complain about all day, every day, because they riding around in these Lear jets, they out on the seas and they yachts, they taking vacations every 2-3 weeks. Y'all complaining about it because you're sitting at your cubicle, or you're sitting in your little office, or you're sitting right next to that person that stink so bad throughout the course of the day that you really want to quit your job and find something else to do. This information is to help you accomplish these goals. So, Brother Daryl, is there anything that you would like to leave our listeners with tonight before we get ready to go?
I just want I want to thank you, Jay. I want to thank you, and I want people to understand that we can do this really fast. And I want people to understand that the information that Jay's gave you today and let get out there is very important, powerful information. So get on it. I mean, it'll change your life. Our number one slogan is, we're changing lives one person at a time. And what we do, let us prove it to you. And that's what we'll do. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate everything. And yeah, you're right on, dude. Let's start getting these people on deck and start helping them out.
Absolutely, absolutely. So for everybody that has been hanging out with us tonight, we are so glad that you took some time out of your busy schedule, out of your active and hectic schedule, to sit down and get some financial insight on corporate financing, how to clean up your credit, how to obtain your dreams, how to meet some of the goals that you've maybe put on the back burner in your life. You know, we want to see everybody be who we feel like we've been able to be, and we've been able to chase our dreams. We've been able to accomplish our goals. We're shining, and we're grateful for that fact. We're grateful to you, Daryl, for the insight, the information that you've given us here at the station to, you know, bring us back. Because, see, a lot of people don't know, man. You know, they look at the things that have gone on with the station over the last month, and they saw we had a little time period to where we were, you know, having some stream issues, and we were down back and forth. You know, we didn't have any consistency going on. But since we've connected with Daryl, man, we've come back. We've come back stronger. We've come back with more power, more grace, and we even came back mobile. So we are so glad to have Daryl, you know, giving us this information, this insight, and advising us in our own financial realm here at the station. So y'all make sure y'all keep it locked and loaded. We are getting ready to launch the 5 steps to financing seminars. So y'all get ready. You know, I ain't gonna lie. This is pertinent information, and we can't just give it all out for free. But we definitely arranged to make it extremely affordable for everybody to take some time out, invest a few dollars into your future, man. Because if you don't invest in you, ain't nobody else gonna invest in you. And please understand that, and please know that. So we are getting ready to get on up out of here. We hope everybody has been enlightened. We hope everybody has had a wonderful time and just enjoy hanging out with your man right here with Real Talk with Jay Sharp and my man Daryl Granger, who has been in the building with us, holding it down all evening. So y'all keep it locked and loaded. We will see you again real soon for the 5 steps to financing seminars. So until then, this is Jay Sharp with my man Daryl Granger, and guess what, y'all? We fading to black.